Have you ever stopped yourself from trying something new not because you didn't want it, but because you were terrified of failing? Maybe you had a dream, to start a business, to confess your feelings to someone, to move to a new city, or simply to put yourself out there. And yet, you froze. Your mind whispered, "What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not enough?" And suddenly, doing nothing felt safer than risking it all. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. Today, I want to talk about one of the deepest fears many of us carry, the fear of failure. We don't just fear falling short. We fear what it means about us, we fear judgment, and we fear that we'll never recover if things go wrong. But here's the truth, failure is not the end. It's not a stamp of who you are. It's often the beginning of something greater, if only you dare to face it. So in this video, I'll share why so many of us are afraid to fail, how that fear shapes our choices, and most importantly, how we can step beyond it and reclaim our freedom to try, to grow, and to live fully. Fear of failure doesn't come out of nowhere. It's built over time, shaped by childhood, culture, and experiences. Think about when you were in school. Most of us were rewarded for being right and punished for being wrong. A red mark on the test wasn't just about the answer. It felt like it was about you. Slowly, we internalized the idea that failure equals shame. And then there's society. Social media shows us filtered success stories. People achieving big things, traveling the world, making money at a young age. What we don't see are their mistakes, their sleepless nights, their failures. So, when we fall short, it feels like we're the only ones. But failure is a human experience. No one escapes it. The only difference is how we choose to see it. The fear of failure isn't just uncomfortable, it's expensive. It costs us opportunities. It costs us growth. It costs us the chance to discover who we really are. How many times have you stopped yourself from applying for a job because you thought you weren't qualified enough? How many times did you not speak up because you were afraid of sounding stupid? How many dreams have died quietly inside you because you chose the safety of inaction? Here's the paradox. By trying to avoid failure, we often fail in advance. We reject ourselves before the world even has a chance to. What if failure isn't the opposite of success but part of it? Every inventor, artist, athlete, or entrepreneur you admire has failed, often, more times than you can count. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Failure isn't proof of weakness. It's proof of courage. Because it means you tried something that could have gone wrong. Ask yourself, what does failure really mean to you? Is it rejection, embarrassment, losing money, or is it simply learning something you didn't know before? When we redefine failure as feedback, as data, as a lesson, suddenly, it loses its power to paralyze us. Let's be honest, a big reason we fear failure is because of other people. We imagine their laughter, their criticism, their whispers behind our back. But pause and think, how often do you actually think about other people's failures? Probably not much, because everyone is too busy worrying about themselves. The truth is, people may notice for a moment, but they move on. It's us who keep replaying the failure in our minds. We carry the weight longer than anyone else does. So the question becomes, are you living your life to impress others, or to fulfill yourself? Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about learning how to get back up. Here are some steps. 1. Start small. Face tiny risks daily, so failure feels less threatening. 2. Separate identity from outcome. You are not your results. 3. Celebrate effort. Even when things don't work out, applaud yourself for showing up. 4. Create a safe circle. Surround yourself with people who support growth, not just perfection. The more you practice these, the more failure feels like a bruise instead of a life-ending wound. Let's look at real people. J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before Harry Potter was published. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career, lost almost 300 games, and became the greatest of all time. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for TV. What if they had given in to their fear of failure? The world would have lost their gifts. Now ask yourself, what gifts are you keeping from the world because you're afraid to fail? Life isn't about never falling down. It's about choosing growth, even when it scares you. Failure will always exist, but so will possibility. The moment you accept failure as part of the journey, you free yourself. You stop holding back. You start living boldly, because at the end of your life, you won't regret the failures. You'll regret the chances you never took. So, why are you so afraid to fail? Because you're human. Because you care. Because you dream. But here's the reminder. Failure doesn't define you. Your courage does. Your willingness to rise again does. So today, I challenge you. Do one thing you've been putting off because of fear. Send the application. Write the first page. Speak your truth. And if you stumble, let it be proof that you were brave enough to try.
打不是。